first game of this season's Friends Provident T20 competition saw the current 2020 champion Sussex beat last season's runners-up Somerset by 52 runs, and these are the highlights from Hove. Following a day of rain, Marcus Trescothick won the toss and fielded, but Sussex got off to a flyer. The third over of the day, bowled by Mark Turner, produced 23 runs, with Luke Wright smacking 4 fours and one massive 6 which flew out of the ground. The World Cup winning all-rounder looked in magnificent form as he then hit his second 6. Birdie was out to the final ball of the 6th over, caught by Nick Compton at square cover for an exceptional 39 made off only 18 deliveries. Sussex were on 58 for 1 at the end of the power play overs. Somerset's attack then did manage to stem the flow of runs and calm things down a bit, with Murray Goodwin never quite at his best. He struck Xander de Brain to Peter Trigo on the mid-wicket boundary for a runner ball 30 at 79 for 2 at the end of the 9th over. Then next ball, the hero of last year's final, Dwayne Smith, was legged before to Murray Kartik for a golden duck, a crucial wicket it seemed for the Sabres. Sussex were on 83 for 3 at the halfway stage, but they then lost their way with de Brain and Kartik both bowling really well. Chris Nash and Ed Joyce worked hard to add 26 in 4 overs to take the total to 105 towards the end of the 13th over. De Brain then collected his second wicket. Nash on 13 caught in the deep. 4 balls later, Joe Gatting was bowled by the excellent Kartik, whose 4 overs cost only 21 runs. Then, after another 4 balls, Joyce was run out by the substitute fielder Errol Zapire on 14 as the batsman tried to regain his ground. Sussex were having a bit of a lull, and with the score at 120, Michael Yardy fell to the final ball of the 17th over, Thomas picking up the wicket as the Sussex captain pulled him straight to Joss Buttler at deep square leg. It took a fine partnership by Yasser Arafat and Andrew Hodd at the end to give the Sharks a challenging total. Arafat hit just the third 6 of the innings, as the pair added 35 in 19 balls for the 8th wicket at the death to carry the score to 155 for 7 at the end of the allotted 20 overs. Somerset have one of the most feared opening partnerships in this season's competition in Trescothick and Craig Keyswetter, and the latter made the most of these short boundaries by hitting Robin Martin-Jenkins over mid-wicket for a steepling 6. The South African-born wicketkeeper doesn't bludgeon the ball like his captain, but uses excellent timing and superb placement to score his runs. The most noticeable aspect of his batting is the ferocious bat speed through the air. His boundaries were scored to all parts of the Hove ground as Somerset made a good start. Yardy used his bowlers in single-over spells at the start in greasy conditions, which were not ideal for the fielding side, but Yasser Arafat returned to take the wicket of Trescothick, who skied a slower ball to James Kirtley at deepish mid-off. Sussex ended the power play well, with Somerset reaching 44 for 1 at the end of the 6th over, needing 112 to win. Compton was then legged before, going for the reverse sweep off Yardy at 48 for 2. De Brain didn't last long, superbly caught at third man by Joyce off Martin-Jenkins for 1 at 51 for 3 in the 8th over. The really big wicket came in the next one, as the informed James Hildreth was perhaps unfortunate to be given out leg before to Yardy for 1, leaving Somerset in trouble at 53 for 4. Keyswetter was still there though, and he now held the key to the outcome of this game. He was still there at the halfway stage with his side on 67 for 4, needing 89 off the last 10. Butler has already made a name for himself in the Championship this summer, and he's a 19-year-old who exudes confidence. This was only his second T20 match, but he looked like an old stager as he played some outrageous shots, timing the ball expertly. He looked to be pulling Somerset into the lead in the game as he scored the lion's share of a stand of 37 made off just 23 balls. But then Keyswetter took a risky run and Butler was beaten by Joyce's throw from backward point. Butler, a real talent, was out for 27 off 16 at 90 for 5, 66 now needed off 46 balls, and that was the moment which turned the match. Yardy had the luxury of bringing Kirtley into the attack as his 7th bowler in the 15th over, and he struck almost immediately as Keyswetter on 47 was brilliantly caught on the cover boundary at 97 for 6. Smith then dropped a sitter next ball, but Kirtley's well-disguised slower delivery did for Peter Trigo on 2 with the next delivery he bowled. The Sabres were 99 for 7 with 5 overs left, and The end was nigh as Nash's full toss bowled Kartik for 1 at 102 for 8. The collapse continued when Ben Phillips scooped another slower ball to Martin Jenkins at short fine leg before Kirtley finished things off. 6 wickets fell for 13 runs in 30 deliveries since that run out of Buttler, as Kirtley ended with figures of 3 for 3. So a first scalp for champion Sussex this season, beating Somerset by 52 runs. It was the visitors' first defeat in one-day cricket this season after starting the 40-over competition with 5 wins. Sussex already look like they could be the side to beat this year.